So guys, we're now going to shift from sort of looking in rear vision mirror to looking in front. So maybe grab a new piece of paper on this one. I want to go through a different profile here, or a different flip chart. It's a flip chart, and before we get down to sort of some nitty gritty, I haven't presented this one on stage for about 10 years. So here it comes, this one. This is called the Roadway of Life. What's it called, everyone? So in the roadway of life, you are the car, and as you travel down that road, sometimes what happens or tends to happen is we go off track a little bit, and something happens. You know, to use the analogy, you know, the text message goes off in the car, or we look down and we're not present to where we are, and we sort of start to go off to the side a little bit. And in most countries around the world, the governments have installed a little thing because they know that this is going to happen. And you run over those little things that they divot in the ground, and it makes that noise. Who's ever experienced that one? And you go, oh shit, you know, I've got to get back on track. Who's ever done that? All right, so effectively, you know, those little rivets on the side of the road over here give what's known as a tap. What's it called, everyone? A tap. You just get like a little tap on the shoulder, and that's a correction. Okay, and then you bring the car back and you keep on going down the road. And look, what some people do in the roadway of life is they don't listen to the tap. So effectively, what they do is then they'll keep doing the text messaging, or they're distracted, etc. And there's another little tap that happens, and in some, you know, countries around the world, there's also the same little divots in the road in the middle. Anyone ever experienced those? You run over those, they're a little cat's eye thing, and then all of a sudden the world gives you another tap to say, hey, you got to correct here. All right, and then look, you know, what some people then do is, you know, they correct it back up, and you know, they don't kind of listen, hit the next one, and then go over here. And what we say on this particular principle is, if you don't listen to the taps, sometimes there's big old dirty, you need to be drawing this, by the way. There needs to be a what coming down the other pathway, everyone? There's a Mack truck. So in life, if there's always, we should be listening for the taps. What are the taps? Where does this happen in business? Give me a few examples of taps where if people don't listen to something that they're getting, they get into a problem. Just call it out. Anyone? Yeah, cash. They're not monitoring the cash, and then all of a sudden they look down at the bank account and a whole bunch of bills, and they get a little old tap, yes? Does that make sense? Yes or no? What's some other ones in business that tends to happen? Customer feedback. We're getting feedback. They're giving us feedback. We decide that we already know the product or service really well, therefore we don't have to listen. And then we go and get a little old tap. Give us a couple of other examples. Team feedback is, hey, you know, we heard a couple of culture-y style dumb taxes on the microphones before, so we're not listening to our team truly, to their happiness, etc., etc. What else? Yeah, and it's a great point of Ashley. What she just said is, just everyone do this for me. Everyone do this. So, you know, you got do the work, chase the work, do the work, chase, do. Who's ever been in this cycle where you're just going, chase it, do it, chase it? Show of hands, who's on that one? Okay, good. So, you know, where that one is you're getting a tap because one of those are out of equilibrium and there's not a process behind it. Great point, Ash. Okay, so there's probably about another 1,000 of taps or related taps in business. Let's ask a few health taps. What's a couple of health taps that you get on the shoulder? Call them out. Hey, yeah, I walk up a flight of stairs and I'm... What else? What's that? Yes, so that... What's the tap? What are you getting that gives you that? Hospitalisation is the worst. It's funny, some of you guys are laughing, but really it's like, I've been there. That's why we're laughing. What else? Give us a good one. What else? Headache, tired, jeans don't fit. We had a couple of those on the microphone. Okay, you're going running bloods. I won't keep going down that one. So the point is if we're not listening to the taps, this one here, by the way, I forgot to write it in. I'll do it now. You need to write this in is, the first couple are normally those little rivety things on the road. This one, which comes before the Mack truck, is normally the 4x2. What is it, everyone? So this is where, the tap is a piece of wood that whacks you on the nose and says, here, I'm trying to tell you something, but you're not listening. So, before we go into this new year, I want to challenge you to look back over the last, say, 90 days, 180 days, i.e. 6 months, and I'd like to see what your taps are. And here's going to be your 2 categories. Write this one down. The first one is business. What taps in business you're getting right now that potentially you either do need to do something with, or you just became aware of it because I asked the question. So what's the tap that you're getting in business? That's the first one. Everyone cool with that? Say yeah. The second one is a health one. What's the second one, everyone? What taps are you getting from a health point of view right now? We're going to hear from James later on in the morning around nutrition and what it takes to be an entrepreneur from a body state and what we're putting into our bodies. So I'm just going to ask you ahead of that, James, what are some of the taps that we're not listening to, or there's a big old billboard right now, or a 4x2 just waiting to hit us on the nose? So the second is health. Here comes the third one. Relationships. What's the third one, everyone? Relationships. Now I'll let you work out what that means in you. That could be your mother, your dad. We heard that from Ed. One great example there. We're going to do. It could be your spouse or partner. It could be sons. It could be friends. I don't know. I'm just going to put the broad banner of relationships of what taps we've got in front of us on those 3.